Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about how to make widgets. Okay, so basically to make a widget, all you have to do is just create a file, a plugin file. I've named this plugin file as ihs simple widgets.php, and I have put that into my plugins folder, as you can see here. Okay, now obviously you need to define the plugin name, plugin URI, description, author, version number, and author URI. Okay, and then there's a class in WordPress, a predefined class, which is called WP Widgets, and that's the one responsible for creating the widget. Okay, so all you have to do is just extend that class with your own custom class. So my own custom class is foo widget. Okay, and I've extended the WordPress WP widget class so that I can access the functionality and the methods of WP widget class into my custom class foo widget. Okay, now there are four functions. First is construct. Construct basically goes ahead and creates the widget as soon as the this class is instantiated. And how it is instantiated is that we will go ahead and do an add action, and in this add action there's a hook called widgets init. So this widgets init is attached to a do action, widgets init hook, and as soon as the script reaches the do action widgets init, this add action is called, and add action calls the register foo widget, which is a custom function, and this function calls the predefined WordPress function called register widget. And as soon as we call this function, our foo widget class is instantiated. So the job of this function is to instantiate our custom class, which automatically calls the construct method, and in this construct method we will call the parent construct method of the WP widget class, which takes following parameters. It takes an ID base, so ID name we have kept it as foo widget. We can just keep it false in case if we don't want to define the ID name. Then we have the widget title. This will be the name of the widget. Okay, so if you go on to WordPress all right, so widget title, the name of the widget is widget title. Okay. Right, so that's the name of the widget which goes here. Text domain is basically you can choose any domain that you like, which we will require to mention in different functions. Okay, so you can choose to name it whatever you want. Okay, and then the description of the widget, which is a foo widget, and the text domain. Okay, and then the next function, so this basically this job of this function is to create the widget. Okay, so remember, add action, sorry, do action attached to this widget will call the add action, attached to this hook will call the add action, and this add action is going to call this register foo widget function, which in turn will call the register widget function, which will instantiate our uh, class. Okay, foo widget, which extends the WP widget, which calls the construct method, which calls the parent, which means the construct method of WP widget, and creates the widget for us. So as soon as you go ahead and define this, our widget will be created over here into the widget section of appearance. Okay, obviously before you can see anything over here, you need to go to plugin, install plugins, and you need to activate your plugin. So in my case, the name of the plugin is ihs simple widget.php, so you need to go here and activate this widget. Okay, for the activate this plugin for the widget to work. Okay, and then the next three functions, one is this function widget. Basically it is responsible to display everything on the front end, which means right here. Okay, so this section, so this function takes care of that. Okay, and then you have the form function, which basically is responsible for what is being shown in the backend. So if you go to widgets, okay, so whatever is displayed here, your form function is responsible. So whatever we have created here, this title, this number of posts and everything, it's coming from the form function. Okay. And then the update function, basically, so update function updates all the data. So whenever you go ahead and make changes over here, for example, I put it as 2, then update function takes care of updating this title as well as the um, number of posts. Okay. Right. um, okay, so let's go by these functions one by one. So first we'll talk about the backend. Okay, so we'll create a form. Okay, we have given default um variable which contains an array with the title as recent posts and number as 5. Okay, so title basically, okay, no problem. Yep. So and then we have this variable called instance. We use wp parse arguments instance and then default. So okay, so we are passing this default variable to the instance which is coming into this function as its parameter. Okay, and then we have this title variable, and we're checking the condition that if instance property of title uh, is not empty, then title is equal to instance title. Otherwise, if it is empty, then it is equal, this title is equal to new title, and obviously this is the text domain that we have defined into our construct function. Okay, and this escape HTML escapes the title whatever user has entered for security purposes. Okay. And next we have created a form. Basically this is called the label get field ID will get the ID of the number, and the number of posts to show, we are translating that here, and this number of posts to show is coming from here, it's displayed. Okay, and then we are using an input. Okay, and again it's got the ID of get field ID, it's accessing, this is basically relating to the name of the class. Okay, and this is accessing the get field ID method of WP widget. Okay, to get the ID of the number. Okay, and again get this field name. Okay, so this will be the name. If you check, so this name widget foo widget to number, so this is coming from here. Okay, and then the value. Okay, so the value is instance number, whatever user inputs here in this section, okay, will be stored here in this variable instance number, and by default the value of the instance number is 5. So if the user does not input anything in here, then it will be the by default be the 5 posts that will be displayed, 5 post titles. Okay, and then you have the label for the title. Okay, similarly, and then the input for the title. Okay, so this instance array has got title and number, which is what we are trying to use over here, and this title is referring to this. Okay, see you in the next video.